Hi, I'm Peggy Beauregard. We're the Real Estate Matchmakers. We match cash to deals and deals to cash. We save you time and you make money. The deals come to us. The returns go to you. And today I'm talking about your children are the capital to preserve. And I'm going to give you one way to make their lives better. I have talked about this before, and I think this is very, very important because we all want our children to have a better life, we say over and over. So I have talked about this before. Again, what is important? So it's a cliche. When you do what's easy, life is hard. And when you do what's hard, life is easy. So one of the hard things to do is bring your children into conversations that are difficult. Everyone has a time where money might be a struggle or a needs to be revamped, rebudgeted, and things come up. Those are the time your children need to be involved in the conversation. Parents think they're protecting their children by not talking about it. And let me tell you, this is not really good because your kids still hear the conversations. They have the doors open from their bedroom and they hear you talking about things. And the quieter you talk, the more they listen. So here's this book How to Raise a Founder with a Heart by James Margraff. He is quite an amazing, amazing man. I highly suggest you get this book if you have children, even for yourselves. The book, How to Raise a Founder with Heart. And it's not about like a foundation kind of thing. It's like you find something you're passionate about and you do something about it. And that's how you become a founder. So in this book, he says parents want, of course, the best for their children. And too often parents don't include their children in that process. They're too consumed by what's going on at work and in other responsibilities to sit down with their kids and explain why they make the decisions and the choices and how they come to those conclusions. See, that's a process of thinking, is teaching your children to think. So if something does come up and you have to cut back, isn't it important for your children to understand, look, this thing came up and we've got to deal with it. And we need your help on this also. Perhaps you could give us some ideas on how to handle this because you'll be involved with it also. Because now we have to stop going out to dinner or whatever. It could be something really simple. This lack, and Jim calls this a lack of communication, and it creates great tensions in families. Be clear with your values. That's super important so that you can live with authenticity in front of your children and teach them to do the same. Above all, you must be willing to involve your kids in the tough conversations, and you must share your work and your life with them. Isn't that why you have kids? So you could do that? I'm going to give you an example of why it's so important to do this. And it's someone I met who has children, and their son is in college. And he heard the parents talking about mom's not doing well. She's in a rest home, and they were talking about money. And they were talking maybe that dad might lose his job. Well, this child, he's 20, overheard the conversations, and what he heard, how he heard it was, my parents are struggling for money. I'm not going to go to school because I don't want them to spend the money. But he still went off to school. They still paid for his apartment. He didn't get a job. He just didn't want them to pay the fees for school. So he hasn't been going to school for the last year. And the parents don't know that. They think he's going to school. So he has been carrying this burden around with him for a year. Now, his grandmother has passed away. The grandparents were paying for the home, not this couple. So the generation that's responsible for themselves was being responsible for themselves. And the father got a promotion. He didn't lose his job. And all is really well. But this kid went through hell because he had a year where he was carrying this burden. Truly, he was carrying the burden of, I can't let my parents spend money on me because it's so important that they have money to take care of all these other things. And what if my dad loses his job? So I know that's a very negative, but the story is true. And these are the silly reasons that some very drastic things happen. So I want you to please, I want you, it's up to you, not up to me, to consider having these conversations with your children and with the people that are important to you. I would like to hear from you and any suggestions you might have. So just reply with your suggestions of what you think is important for communication. Chat with you later.